guys, thanks for joining us again. This is Marq with WeThePeopleoklahoma. I have a panel today, okay? They said they just wanted to just all get together and talk about things. To my left here, I have Stacy, you may know. Okay. Also have Renee, she's a newcomer. Renee, say hello.
Hello.
And you guys know to my right, I have Jeana.
Hello.
All right, guys, y'all ready to get into it? All right, first topic of the day. Let's talk about the K2 situation. Okay, earlier, guys, this week, there was a particular jailer who had broken into the evidence room in the David L. Moss Center and stole an arsenal of K2. And from my understanding, based on the Frontier's reporting, they did not report that to the district attorney's office. And as a matter of fact, I don't believe they recovered the incident. How this occurred has still been under wraps, guys. But what has happened is that this guy, his name is Jesse, he put the K2 up his rectum. Okay, so let's get really deep here. He put it up his rectum, all right, and he was complaining of some type of abdominal pain, right?
They noticed that he was bleeding from his rectum.
Absolutely.
And, that it soaked his pants. So.
And they took him to the medical, I believe, and then they had him under surveillance, and they noticed that he was dripping stuff inside the stool. Is that correct?
He was pulling.
Right. Mm-hmm. He was pulling out. And then they took him to x-ray. I think that's where they took him to a hospital, local hospital here. We're not going to say the name. And where they discovered that he had it, K2. But the interesting thing about this case is that he was released. He was not jailed or fined or anything of that nature. Not charged, not nothing. And they didn't even report it.
Right.
So you guys
the DA this happened in June, and the DA just got the charges, in September?
Right. And the DA, Steve,
Or he still hasn't gotten charges.
I don't think there's no charges have been filed at all.
No charges. There was no charges filed.
I don't know. I mean, Jeana, what you think?
Why is there no charges filed? And this, how many K2 cases is this affecting?
Right. How many other cases that aren't related to K2?
Right. There's a huge.
He was able to access that. He was a worker at the Faulkner building.
Why did they have an inmate?
Right.
Working in the evidence room to begin with?
Right. And it wasn't an evidence room. It was an overflow room.
Yeah.
So it wasn't secured the way that the regular evidence room is secured. So why are we allowing inmates access where we know that there's evidence?
Apparently, he was serving a 6-month stint there. And
for the K2 bus.
For the K2 bus.
A year ago.
So here's the question. Did he steal his own K2?
Good point.
That's the question, right?
Well, no.
I mean,
possession is 9/10 of the law. Right?
In the report, it states that that it was a whole bunch of things that came about.
Right.
It was from the K2. So my question would be, since they did not file charges, and for what reason they did, I want to know why, for what reason they didn't file charges on the individual, and when they took the evidence from him, because I would assume they got it out, where did the K2 go? Where is the K2?
I think that's the problem. I think that's the problem that the district attorney's office is having right now, because I'm sure there's cases that he has to work on, and I think that's still under investigation. But I think it brings to a bigger problem. How is our sheriff running the jail? And that's the bigger problem that we have.
Not
here.
even the jail. This was in his own office. This is where his people work every day.
Absolutely.
It's not even the jail. How is he running the entire department?
Right. And it shouldn't have been protocol to go ahead and to report this information directly. But who is Jesse, and how did Jesse get away? Because apparently he was connected to the $700,000 300-pound K2 sting that they had.
Yeah.
So my question would be, who made the decision at the sheriff's department office to not file the charges?
And to let him go. Who made that decision?
Who made that decision?
I mean, honestly,
who made the decision not to tell Coonswaller in June? Who made that decision?
And why aren't heads rolled yet?
Exactly.
How come people are not fired by now?
Exactly.
Right.
I mean, you can't have situations like this and then you have people that have evidence, and these things are happening. And you can't just have that and then they say, oh, it's just an oversight.
Yeah,
That makes
it's
you
not just an
wonder.
oversight. You jeopardize countless cases. Because none of us really know what was in that room, what he touched, what he didn't touch,
Absolutely.
what he jeopardized and what he didn't jeopardize.
What
Absolutely.
else was compromised?
So,
Yeah.
so my question would be, also to add to this, even though that's K2, we would know from the way the sheriff department is doing things, how many times have this happened that they have not
That's
released?
another excellent
Right.
question.
Good point.
All right, so we're going to wrap this up, but I always like to wrap up. What can the public do in order to get more answers from the sheriff department? What do you guys think? What do they need to do?
Get rid of Sheriff Jeana.
Well, we got that, but I mean, what can they do right now? You know, what are some of the ideas that the public can actually do right now in order to get answers, and also to call for these the heads to be fired? Because at this point in time, I think you guys
they
made a
can
good
write
question.
the grand jury.
Yeah,
They
right.
write
They
the
can
grand
We
jury.
already
Good part.
impaneled the grand jury. They can write the grand jury with their concerns.
Right. They can also call for the termination of these people and also ask, who were these people who allowed this to happen? Why are they still employed? By your tax dollars, my tax dollars, and all of our tax dollars.
Well, from the report, it looks like even Coonswaller doesn't know who was involved in the situation, because he's still waiting on the information to be a written report to be given to him from the sheriff
Or 3
department.
months later, he still
So,
doesn't have a written report.
you know,
so
so
that's
that-
the other thing is let's get that report.
It's trouble in Mayberry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's trouble in Mayberry. Well, that's all we have for you guys today. Again, do some research on it. Frontier did a great shout out to Frontier on this. Dylan, you did a great job in covering this story. I believe Tulsa World
Corey
also,
Jones, yeah.
Corey also covered it too. That's all we have for you. Then Marq, peace out.
See you guys later. Bye.